lo utu paguen lo utu muna. Maya ni sama faina lo abea na leo pasarala mosio tato utu. Yo na yo para es ma lo soy promo ma lo le vania ma. It is my distinct pleasure on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and President of the University of the South Pacific to welcome you to Samoa campus and to this event. It's something that we don't usually do, but we thought that it was high time that it is something that we start featuring in our marketing and in our engagement with the community. We understand the role of the media, and it is an extremely important role, not just for providing the news, but also for a strong democratic nation and a strong democratic process. It is very important that the media is well informed of all the different developments that will improve not only education on this particular occasion, but in all the other ripples of society that your work and your service actually touch. And so I thank you once again for accepting the invitation to attend. And the format for today is a simple format. The Vice Chancellor and President, Professor Feiloa'iga, has a few announcements that he will make. And I know that this will springboard into other areas that the different media outlets are most welcome to ask questions about for elaboration, so that we can continue to push out the information for this aspect of Samoa services for the education of our country. I know that I'm preaching to the choir about the importance of education and the value of having options. And that's always been USP's stance, is that we are an option, not a competition, but an option. We are a regional university, and so it's important that we offer those opportunities to our students and just our people in general, because it's not just the year 13s that attend the University of the South Pacific. But without further ado, I'll hand it over to Professor. Thank you very much, Professor, for his comments.
Thank you, Afi, and Tala Falawa, everybody. I'm really pleased to be speaking to you. I apologize a little bit. I have a touch of laryngitis, so please bear with me. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. First of all, I want to say that this is a very exciting week for USP, as we have graduations here on Friday, and the whole week's going to be quite busy with many of our heads of school coming in from Fiji. Our council secretary has just arrived, so it's been a very busy week for all of us here. But it's also a very exciting week, and one of the highlights, of course, is that, as you know, the chancellorship of the USP rotates every year, and so no government really, or no country gets a chancellor after they've served for another 12 years. So it's our turn. Samoa is going to be the chancellor, and the head of state will be installed at the graduation ceremony on Friday as the next chancellor of the University of South Pacific, which is a really big thing. But I think it's even bigger for us because never in the history has a regional campus had both the chancellor and the vice chancellor at the same location. I mean, they've had it in Fiji in a way, but never have they had a regional campus where both the chancellor and the vice chancellor belong to that. As I am now really located in Samoa, this is a very big thing, and I think we're really excited. And we're getting a lot more. As I've said in the past, we're trying to do a lot more things, and you'll see already that the hard work that my colleagues, particularly the campus director and all the people sitting here have done, means that the diversity we're going to have at this graduation shows just what's been happening at our Samoa campus. I think the government had very good foresight a couple of years ago when they asked that the name of the campus of USP be changed from Alafua to the Samoa campus. And I think when I share with you some of the statistics in a minute, you'll see that that was a very apt decision, because we do a lot more than agriculture here at the campus. And of course, we have many plans to expand into new areas, and we want to make sure that many people can study here rather than having to travel all the way to Fiji, at least do some of their study here. This is a really big graduation in terms of numbers itself for us. It might not seem like big numbers compared to other places, but for us, having 270 graduates in our campus in our graduation on Friday is a huge achievement, especially given the pandemic. We haven't had any face-to-face graduations here since the outbreak and since the lockdown, so this is a really big opportunity for us to really celebrate the success of our students. And for me, graduation above anything else is about our student success. And it's our students who are our biggest ambassadors. They're the ones who are going to come out of this great premier institution of the Pacific and make a difference to their communities. And so it's a real opportunity for families, for communities who've invested a lot in their children, their partners, their husbands, their wives, their fathers, their sisters, their uncles, etc. So I think this is something that's very important to celebrate with the community, the success of our wonderful students. I think one of the highlights for me is the role of USP as a capacity building institution in the Pacific. And when I looked at the figures and I saw that there will be 27 people who will graduate with an MBA, that really resonated with me, that we are really doing the job that we claim that we should be doing. To have 27 MBAs within the country is a huge accomplishment, and I really congratulate every one of those graduates. And I'll say more about them on Friday at the graduation, but it's just such an honor to be part of a celebration where so many people will be taking that capacity and investing it back within our country and in the economy. It's also really pleasing that we have, Tokelau doesn't have it's not very easy for them to have a graduation, they're small. So we always have Tokelau students graduate with us, and it's really pleasing that they will be with us again at this ceremony. I think that's a really huge, it's a really huge compliment to how Tokelau has managed, how it continues to provide an excellent education to its citizens. It'd be remiss of me if I didn't say a couple of things about the university. We are once again recognized as amongst the top 10% of universities in the world. I think I've said this before, we don't just chase rankings for the sake of rankings. Rankings are there to really validate the excellence that we try and inculcate in our university. And it's very good when somebody externally validates you, and there's no better way of being told that you're part of the 10% in the world. There are about just over 20,000 universities in the handbook of global universities, which is run by the UN. And for us to be amongst the 1,000 to 1,200 universities in the world is really quite a remarkable thing. And of course, this year we were also ranked in the Times Education Impact Countries, and most recently we were again ranked by the World Universities for Impact, where we ranked number 12 in the world for crisis management, and also we're amongst 100 to 200 universities in the world seen as being the most innovative. So I say that because our second semester will be starting next week, albeit that the first day of the semester is a public holiday in Samoa. We won't let that deter us. As a father, I know it's very important that we need to celebrate Father's Day, and we need to wish all fathers the best for Father's Day and give them an opportunity to spend some time with their children. I think the big message I wanted to give really is that campus is open, it's looking fantastic. We're putting a lot of effort into making sure the student experience is really, really excellent here. And not only do we have very good academic programs, but of course we try and do as much as we can with the other things that happen that are part of being a part of a USP Feiloa'iga. And so we have a gym, we have beautiful fields, and one of the most amazing things about this campus, of course, is that we have many students from different parts of the region and overseas studying here, which makes this a very vibrant community.